remember watching a interview with Wil Wheaton, a guy that got famous as a child actor in a film called Stand By Me, I think it was, and he's also done some acting work as an adult. He was in The Big Bang Theory, but he's open with his struggle with depression, and he was talking about starting antidepressants, and then one day he was walking through a park with his wife, and just out of nowhere he had this sudden feeling, this realization that everything's going to be okay. And I feel like that's really what I want. I just want to feel like everything's going to be okay. That wasn't a beep at me, by the way. I don't know what that was for, but it was four cars ahead. I just want to feel like everything's going to be okay. I feel really mentally challenged, stretched at the moment. Life feels really hard. Don't get me wrong, there's some good things. I swear my nipples are really prominent in this top. My competition went well. We came 19th out of 200 teams, and that is better than I expected, so I'm really happy and buzzing about that. And in fact, in one of the workouts we came 6th out of 200. Only 5 teams beat us, and looking it back, we know how they beat us. It's not because they had additional skill. The thing that they were quicker on, we could have done ourselves in hindsight. So another go round, we could have potentially won that entire workout out of 200 teams. So that feels really nice, and you know, to have got myself there and a friend that was in the team. I had to drive, which was out of my comfort zone, and it was just me and him in the car. Everyone else went in a different car. So not only did I have to drive on unfamiliar roads for the first time, I also had to make conversations, and that was really out of my comfort zone. But that's where you grow, isn't it? So I'm glad that I pushed myself to do that. Yeah, I'm glad that I got there safe in one piece, and I felt healthy. And to be able, as I say, you know, to be at a good level now, and to be able to keep up with some people in that team are like the best in the gym, like the women in particular. 2 of them are like the best women in the gym. So to be able to keep up with them, you know, and even the third one is a very high level. She's probably 3rd best. So to be able to like keep up with all of them and to take part and do these things, it just was a really fun, privileged day out, and I'm very glad that I got to take part in it. And it's down to me. Like, I really was the master of my own destiny there. I bought the ticket for the team. I got them all involved. I made that happen, essentially. So, you know, I know it's hard with depression, but we do have a lot of power in our own lives. You just gotta make things happen. But there's some other things that are really hard at the moment. I just found out that I made, I suppose I can tell you, 26 grand profit the year just gone. Which is weird, because on one hand, for what I do for it, that's great. You know, I probably work 2-3 hours a day. I just keep it ticking over, and I'm making £500 profit a week. That's great on that respect. But on the other hand, there's no way I can afford even a pokey little 1-bedroom flat in this area, even with 120 grand deposit to put down. I still can't afford my own place, and I'm 35 in 2 weeks. And you might be thinking, well, why don't you just go and rent? But I've worked hard for my money. I know I just said I only work 3 hours a day, but it wasn't like that in the early years. You know, I've worked hard to set this up and to get to a point where I am making 26 grand profit a year with a moderate amount of effort. And I don't want to just go and chuck it all away and line some landlord's pockets. But at the same time, I really am struggling to continue living at home. And you've got my sister in a bungalow in the garden with her 2 kids. And I feel like I have to actually put a limiter on how fun I act around them, because I know if I'm too fun, they'll want to play with me all the time. And there's no boundaries in our 2 households. They come and go a lot, and I just find that so frustrating. You know, I just want to be left alone a lot of the time, to be honest. Don't get me wrong, I love them dearly, but their dad isn't around. He's miles away in a different city. He's basically got a new family, so my sister's a single mum, and I think subconsciously they're looking for that father figure. And I fit that bill. I'm there, I'm their dad's age, and if I don't put a limiter on how fun I act around them, I can see why they would want me to, you know. And it's like they show me their stuff on the trampoline and stuff. It's like they want my approvals, because they want their dad's approval, and their dad's not here, and I totally get that, and I really feel for them. It must be shit, and it must have a serious toll on a developing child's life. But I'm not their dad, and I never will be. And you know, I want to put that level of effort and energy into my own children, if that day ever comes. So yeah, it's just like, you know, it'd just be so nice to have my own space that I earn, that I paid for, that I can come home to, and it's left exactly the way I left it when I went out. I make all the decisions. I decide what to do in my home, and it's mine. I can come and go as I please. It's mine. Nobody else is there. And as I think I've probably got autism or something, and as somebody that has that, it's like your alone time is extremely important and beneficial. And what makes me, I don't like saying this out loud, but what makes me hate myself so much sometimes is that I literally had it on a plate. You know, in 2016-17, I was 26, 27. I was making 60 grand a year net doing this business. I was 20, yeah, I had the world at my feet. My sister was just about to move in again with her newborn baby, and it was like, right, this is the time now for me to get on the housing ladder, move out of home, buy my own place. And I had that opportunity, and it was a real unusual, unique opportunity, and it was all from my own doing. And so much of my day now is spent thinking, what if I had just done it? I think what held me back even then was depression. Like, it's so hard to take action and not procrastinate when you have depression. And even then I was probably like 10 years in. Might have to change this top. Don't like how prominent my nipples look, which is a shame because I quite like the colour. Yeah, and I just wonder, like, I mean, I have got a new product in at the moment that is selling really well. So this year that I'm in now, this financial year, when it ends next April, I think it's going to be really strong, it's going to be really good, but it means waiting another 12 months before I can actually change my life. And it's just extremely frustrating. that I was given that opportunity. I made that opportunity for myself, and I didn't take it. I didn't grab it with both hands. How do you let go of that? How do you move on from that? I often think about Derek Poundstone, a guy that used an elite level strongman, probably, what year are we in, 24? 10, 15 years ago. He was this close to winning World's Strongest Man in 2008, I think, but he made one little mistake on the Atlas Stones, and that meant that Mariusz Pudzianowski won his 5th title, and Derek Poundstone never won a title, and he was arguably the strongest man to never win. He looked every bit the world's strongest man. He had an amazing physique. So did Mariusz, to be fair, and I often think, like, did that cause him depression? How do you forgive yourself for that? Coming so close, so painfully close to being crowned the world's strongest man. And that's what he'd worked, obviously, years of his life to achieve. And he just missed out by the narrowest of margins. Look it up on YouTube. Derek Poundstone, Mariusz Pudzianowski, World's Strongest Man, 2008 final. And even Mariusz was just so shocked, that he missed it. He actually went up to him and started, like, tapping him on the shoulders in celebration, while Derek was trying to correct his mistake. Yeah, and he never won after that. Brian Shaw came along and dominated for a while. Big Z was still on the scene. And it's like, how do you forgive yourself for these enormous mistakes? Especially when it doesn't look like you'll ever get the chance to do them, to correct them. You'll never get the chance to correct them. I guess I have to keep trying to remind myself about the fact that I've still got a full head of hair at 35. I've got this great new passion, hobby. I have got a business that makes a decent income. I have got friends, I have got family, I have got a place to live. But yeah, there's the rational brain that knows all that is true, and then there's the kind of like physiology that's holding on to those scars, that it doesn't seem to be a way to talk him out of it. You can't talk your way out of those things. You have to feel a change, and that's where I think, like, ayahuasca or going to Rhythmia might help. Oh, is this back open again? Lovely. Very, very nice. So, I don't know what the answer is. Rambling about it from time to time does help a little bit though. And obviously getting myself to CrossFit helps as well, because it means I can just not think about it for a while. And then go through the whole rigmarole and politics and different layers of our family again when I get home.